All right, we're continuing in the theme of the last Hachaim that we learned. What was the function of the Shmoyne Begodim? In the last year, we explained that the 8 Begodim corresponds to 2 names of Hashem. The Hachaim now continues, Tetzaveh Hashem aseh Shmoyne Begodim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu commanded that Moshe Rabbeinu should make 8 Begodim, should be emtsusam through these Begodim, which represent the 2 names of Hashem. And as we explained in the last year, why the 4 begodim of white corresponds to the name of Yudke Vavke, and the 4 begodim of gold corresponds to the Aleph Daled Nun Yud. That's already something that's above my understanding. But for now, we'll have to take it as it is. Now, what does it mean that a beged corresponds to the Yudke Vavke? How does that work? So we know that when Hakadosh Baruch Hu created the world, it was all ruchnius. And Hakadosh Baruch Hu, just like a power generator, creates very intense electricity that if you would plug an outlet, right, if you would plug an appliance directly to the power generator, the appliance would explode. So rather what happens is the electricity gets sent down power lines through transmissions, through more power lines, through more transmissions, right, through the street, until the original energy is transformed, hence the name transformers, and gets degraded to the point that an appliance can accept it. So too, when Hashem sent down His ruchnius, His elokus into this world, it was sent down through, in Kabbalah, it's called hishtalshalos, a change in its spiritual makeup, and eventually, when it came into this world, it took upon a physical form. You have a table, right? You have chairs, you have cars, you have streets, you have trees, you have anything that you see physical is really a representation of Hashem's spirituality, of Hashem's elokus. But it was transformed and changed through the Esser spheres, through the different worlds, for us to be able to function and to be able to use it. Right? When we put on tefillin, we are putting the spiritual the physical manifestation of what tefillin spiritually is. And that's why when we put it on, we have Kedusha. That's how a Yid gets Kedusha. So too, these white begodim represent certain spiritual components that the result of what we see is 4 white begodim, which is corresponded to the name of Yudke Vavke, and so on and so forth. I hope I explained it. It's a little complicated, but basically, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could not send into this world His elokus, because then the world wouldn't be able to handle it. Just like the appliance wouldn't be able to handle the direct energy, electricity from a power plant. So Hashem sent down the ruchnius through different olamas, through different spheres, and eventually it transformed into physical reality, right? Lahavdil, right? Another explanation would be a computer, right? When you type in codes, you get a command, right? You type in commands, you get a result. Today we don't even have that. We have what's called an app, because we're not familiar with coding. But really, as we touch the app and we touch the different programs, that's actually corresponding to codes in the background that work, that result in us being able to interface with the program. So that's the function of the 8 begodim. When the Kohen Gadol wore the 8 begodim, he's actually fusing certain spiritual ruchnius koiches, and that affects the kapara. Ubezeh yechupar ha'ovenahu. A certain oven that the Kohen Gadol was responsible to fix would be mechaper. The famous one would be on Yom Kippur, with the Ketores, other karbanos that the Kohen Gadol would bring. Lama ha'hikpir Hashem al begodim ba'am v'lo b'Moshe. So if that's the case, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu require that Aaron HaKohen would wear the begodim, but not Moshe? As we know, Moshe was technically the first Kohen Gadol. He served as the Kohen Gadol for the first 8 days, the Shmoni Mei Melun, but he only wore white begodim. Why did Moshe not wear these begodim? The 8 begodim are mechaper on 8 specific avodas, and when the Kohen Gadol would serve the avodah with these 8 begodim, we would have a kapara. Ashal kain, Tetzaveh Hashem davar el kohen am l'shasu v'anu kohen mechaper. B'nai Yisrael. When Moshe Rabbeinu was the Kohen Gadol for 8 days, his job was not to be mechaper for Klal Yisrael. His job was to teach Aaron how to do the avodas. So therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu was unable to put on these begadim. Aaron HaKohen, who had the koyach, who had the spiritual koyach in his neshama, when combined with the spiritual names of Hashem, which is manifested in the begadim, had the ability to be mechaper Klal Yisrael, and therefore only he was the one who was able to wear them. And therefore, that's why Hashem was makpid, that Aaron HaKohen would wear the begadim, because in his neshama, it had the koyach, when it combined with another koyach, to affect the kapara, and therefore Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, make for Aaron HaKohen these begadim.